This is Vivify29 here today, and I got for you guys one of my commander decks that I wanted to do a profile on. This one doesn't necessarily focus around one commander, it focuses around a couple. So the main commanders we have for the deck, it's probably one of my favorite ones. I traded a friend for it. There we go. Heroic God of Victory. So it's going to be 2, a red, and a white for a 7/4 indestructible legendary enchantment creature god. As long as your devotion to red and white is less than 7, he's not a creature. Creatures you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, so giving your creatures essentially menace. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures you control. So overall, he's a very strong commander. Even if he doesn't come in and become a creature, he still has a huge impact on the board. Now, one of the other commanders you could use with this deck, since it is boros colors, obviously Aurelia, the war leader. 2 red and 2 white. Flying, vigilance, and haste in a 3/4 for a legendary angel. When she attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Again, just another good commander for this kind of a deck. Then the last commander I have for this deck is Adriana, Captain of the Guard. Why? Mostly because if you play in a multiplayer game, this is kind of a commander you would want to try to run. She's a 5 mana, 3 and a white and a red for a human knight with melee. And if you guys don't know what melee does, you could pause and read it right there. And it gives all your other creatures melee. It's a very, very useful ability, and I feel like it's just a lot of fun in multiplayer because of, how melee works. So those are the 3 commanders for the deck. We have boros colors. I've always wanted to make a boros commander deck, and now I finally have one. So let's get into the land base. Alright, so in this deck we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 basic mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 basic plains. It's only 2 colors. You really don't need too many, filters, I feel. Especially like in this kind of a deck, there's not a lot of double red. So you can if you want, you could probably take out a little bit of the red and put a little bit more white in, but you really don't need, a lot of 2-colored lands or whatever. Anyways, the next couple lands we have are a Windswept Heath, just to help get a white source when you need it. We also have a command tower, because any commander that runs 2 or more colors has to run a single copy of command tower. Mana Confluence, not particularly amazing in this kind of a deck, maybe better in a 3-color commander deck, but in a 2 this is fine. Tap to pay a life to search to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Windbrisk, have to include it. It's an auto-include in this deck because of the Hideaway effect. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if you attack with 3 or more creatures this turn. And it's only, sorry I'm covering it, but it's only 1 red. It's a very, very underrated card, I feel. This is I think this is Japanese Evolving Wilds. Temple of the False Gods, because a little bit of a little extra mana is always good. Rogue's Passage, because it's Rogue's Passage and things being unblockable is really good. Next we have Stone Quarry, which is just a basic come and tapped land. Battlefield Forge, the Pain land. Windscarred Crag, the life land, I guess you could call it, because you're getting a life from it. Burrows Garrison, the bounce land. Needle Spires, because the man land is pretty good itself. 2/1 with double strike is pretty okay. Temple of Triumph, because the scry matters more than you think. And then Sacred Foundry. Alright, so I guess next we'll get into some of the smaller stuff, because there's a lot in this deck. Let's get into the instants and sorceries next, because the creature base is huge. Creature base is like that thick compared to this. So the instants and sorceries we have are obviously you're running white. You need at least 1 or 2 board removals, because your board might not be especially big, but your opponent's is huge. So I put End Hostilities in just because it destroys all permanents attached to creatures. I'm just considering getting Wrath of God at this point because I run a decent number of equipped artifacts, which means they'll all be destroyed too, which really freaking sucks. So I'm looking for a Wrath of God to replace this. Burn from Within, I just felt it was a cool card, and I wanted to include it in because even if it does like 3 or 4 damage, it still kills whatever it would, and then it exiles it. And you could also just ping your opponent if you need a little bit extra damage. Silence, very, very good card for this deck, because if you're like going in for a full-out assault at your opponent, use this because he can't cast spells this turn. So if they have no like answer to this, it's hilarious because you literally just like end the game. Shatter, 1 on a red for destroy a target artifact. There's a commander artifacts everywhere. Blessed Alliance. This is one of the cards I'm considering getting rid of. You can see there's 3 modes. I mean, these two are the two of the cards I'm looking to get rid of. So that, and then I mean this one's not terrible, but it's 5 mana for +2/+2. This one's going to definitely stay Return to Dust, exile target artifact or enchantment, and then you may exile another one if you cast it during your main phase. And then Warlord's Helix. I just feel like I wanted to try this card because it's a 4 mana, it's a 8 life swing. I wanted to give it a try. I feel like it's going to be pretty okay because it could be dealt to target creature too, so it's pretty good for a little bit of extra removal when you need it. Alright, next we got enchantments. Like I said, this deck runs a lot of equipment, a decent number of them, or you know, enchantments or just artifacts in general. So Sigarda's 8 helps, and auras too, or a decent number, a couple of them auras you'll see in a little bit. You can cast auras and equipments as though they had flash for 1 mana. It's from Eldritch Moon, and then whenever an equipment enters, you may equip it automatically. I feel like this card is completely underrated. Like for this kind of a deck, this card is amazing because this is a slightly more artifact-based deck. Suspension Field, get rid of stuff. Again, just like general stuff. Banishing Light, Oblivion Ring, Stasis Snare. You can see a trend. I just put a few cheap removal enchantment spells. Because this card, if you have it out, gives your no, they're not auras. I thought they were auras. My bad. But you still get the idea. Like, it helps more than you think. Always Watching, Path to Bravery. This is a new include. Celestial Dawn, 1 and 2 white. Lands I control or planes. And then if you guys want to read the rest of that, you can. I kind of wanted to try because this is primarily a white deck, so it helps me just filter the colors better. Because I usually get a lot of white, but not a lot of red. You know what I mean? We have Cathar's Crusade. And then the last card is Berserker's Onslaught, one of the only cards in the deck with double red, because double strike is hilarious. Keep to attacking creatures. Alright. Next we'll go to the Planeswalkers. I only run 3 in this deck. We got Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker, mostly because of his first ability that makes him into a dragon, so it helps me when I go to attack. I don't know why that was a little sticky. Chandra Flamecaller. Put 2 3/1 elementals. Again, like, gives me more creatures so I can attack with. And then discard all the cards in your hand is very good too. And then the last one, obviously, come on, the Elspeth Sun's champion. Got to include her in this kind of a deck. This deck is like made for her. Next, we have the artifacts. So we have Skull Clamp. Obvious one. Gorgon's Head, just give something Death Touch. I feel like it was a pretty cool or a pretty interesting include for my kind of a style. So it's like even if you want to attack, you still have to worry about or you want to block, you still have to worry about a Death Toucher with this. We have Darksteel Axe. It's indestructible itself. Yep. Oh, come on, focus. It's not focusing. Why not? Why aren't you focusing? Let's see something. There, that's better. Darksteel Axe. 1, if for an indestructible equipment, that just gives it +2/+0. Silvered Inlaid Dagger. Basically does the exact same thing as this, except it's not indestructible. And if it's human, it gets an additional +1/+0. You'll see as soon as I go to the creatures that I have a lot of humans in this deck. The subtype or the sub theme for the deck is humans, while the a really small type is angels. There's only like 2 or 3 creatures in the whole deck that aren't humans or angels. Everything else is. So we have Soul Ring. Come on. Terrarian, interesting, but I like it because if you don't have the right colors early game, you could just crack this, get the 2 colors you need, draw a card, and hopefully get something better from it. Lightning Greaves, I'm pretty sure this one's self-explanatory. Storm Rudder Rig, just because I mean, it's cool that it equips itself automatically. Again, another one of that I want to get rid of. One that I definitely don't want to get rid of is Sword of the Animus. This helps out so much. It makes the ramp in this deck a lot easier, and it just helps the deck function so much better. Because an equipped creature +1/+1, whenever it attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. Then we have Whisper Silk Cloak, Unblockable and Shroud, not bad. Sword of Feast and Famine, just because untapping your shit is cool, and then making your opponent discard something is even better. And we have Spear of the Heliod. Creatures you control get +1/+1, and then for the exact same cost, destroy target creature that dealt damage to you the turn. It's pretty decent. And then the last not equipment but artifact in the deck is Hedron Archive. 4 mana, gives you 2 mana whenever you tap it, and then you can pay 2 to sack it to draw a card. Draw 2. So those were the artifacts. The last big bulk of the commander deck, the creatures, separated by converted mana cost. So obviously we're running white. We're running not a lot of removal, so Mother of Runes or counter, so we have to include something like Mother of Runes, which is very useful. Dragon Master Outcast, really cool because if you can just get 6 lands, you get a 5/5 every turn, and this thing doesn't become a threat until your opponents make it become a threat. Like you could just sit there behind, you're behind walls, starting to make 5/5s while this is out, and they'll be like, "Shit, we don't really have an answer." Gotta focus. Come on. There we go. We have the War Priest of Thune. Come on. Why is it always unfocusing? There we go. War Priest of Thune. Again, just get rid of enchantments. Suture Priest, because you lose life whenever a creature enters, and I gain some. Hell yeah. Stoneforge Mystic. Come on, I think this is a pretty auto-include with all the artifacts you see in the deck. They can get any equipment. I mean, sorry. You can get any equipment with her. Another one of the ones I want to take out, Elite Inquisitor. Mostly have him in for, where is he? For Buddy Odric, just so he gives first strike and vigilance to all creatures. We have Knight of the White Orchid because more land is better. Plus, what is it? Yeah, he is a 2/2 for 2 with first strike. There's nothing really wrong with that at all. Hidden Dragon Slayer, because when he flips, destroy something strong. Thalia's Lieutenant, again, if you couldn't tell already, human, a core, cleric. Again, like I told you, a couple creatures aren't. Human. You'll see the rest. So human. Mirror, another one. Human. God, angel, horror, human, angel, giant, angel. So as you can see, there's a lot of humans in the deck. So Thalia's Lieutenant, obviously, is going to be super useful. Sunhome Guildmage, because the pump ability is really good. And then you get to put a 1/1, which helps you with Skull Clamp, which allows you to draw more cards. Thalia Heretic Cathar, just because the ability. That's really all. Alicia, who smiles at death, because for double white you can return shit from your graveyard, which is really useful. Court Street Denizen, because paired up with the where is it now? Where's the enchantment? Here it is. Paired up with the enchantment, everything that enters is technically white. Makes her say every time a creature enters, you tap an opponent's creature. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, it's in the back again. There we go. Banish your priest, because come on. Palette Palladium Mirror, just for a little bit of extra ramp, and a creature that I could attack with. Fiend Hunter again. Blade Splicer, because just creatures. Custody, Soul Caller, melee, and then it returns shit based on however many creatures I attacked. So if I attack with 3 or less, I get to reveal creature card with a converted mana cost of 3 or less. To the battlefield, right? Yeah, it's the battlefield. And that's the best part is that's only when he attacks. So you could even easily just keep, attack with him to just get something back that you need. Then we have Odric. Again, like, if you could read the ability you want to. It's very straightforward, though. Heliod, God of the Sun, because Vigilance. Gisela, the Broken Blade, because Brisilla is hilarious. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Thalia's Lancers, because it's free. And on top of that, its ability is really, really, really good for what it does. Enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Shuffle your library. Okay, legendary card. Any legendary card. Here's 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lot of other legendaries. 6, 7. Where is the? Oh, I feel like I'm picking extra ones. 8, 9. Yeah, like you can easily see, like, that's just creatures that you could search for with this deck. So yeah, Thalia's Lancers is incredibly powerful for a deck like this, where it's exactly what you want to be doing. Getting your strongest creatures out, so that way you make your combat more efficient. Ah, crap! Why is it? Okay, it's focusing. There we go. I think. Whatever. Baneslayer Angel, mostly because flying first strike, lifelink protection from dragon and demons is cool. Angelic Skirmisher, Sun Titan, because Sun Titan is very good. Linval the Preserver, so if you are on the back foot, you could easily get yourself ahead, or help push yourself ahead. Bruno the Fading Light, obviously, because it returns an angel or a human to the field when she enters, right? Yeah, when you cast her. Not even when she resolves, when you cast her. Havison, Angel of Hope. And then the last creature is Iona, Shield of Amaria, because I did buy the From the Vault Angels, so I kind of wanted to include them in some way, shape, or form, because it's like I spent a good $35 on that box. I want to at least get use out of it. So yeah, to close off the video for you guys, I'll actually show you Brisilla, Voice of Nightmares. I have not actually looked at this yet, because I just got Gisela recently. But oh, that looks so cool. You gotta admit, that looks badass. Not what happened, but it looks awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like this deck. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I really want to make this deck very good. And I feel like I'm close, but there's still, of course, some things I'm missing. So if you guys have any advice you want to give me for this kind of a deck, let me know. Take something out, put something in. Except, I'm in college, so keep it budget friendly, because I really don't want to have to spend $200 for a Gaia's Cradle or whatever, because I actually need one for my other commander deck, which I might do soon if you guys like this video, but I might make it shorter because it's not even done yet. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave any suggestions down below, and I hope you have a great day.